Senhor. Logo se tem que vai dar sente nyingi.
Good afternoon, dear viewers. Welcome once again to yet another stream between Dog City and Mutesi Rasheeda. The scoreboard on top left is the one for Mutesi Rasheeda versus Dog City. With Mutesi Rasheeda in the men's tournament, she has been given a +2. Bringing to you the audio is Richard Travis Mokisa. There is also yet another stream on your top right of the screen. If you can see it, that one is between Caesar Chandiga and Innocent. It is a race to 7. The scores you see on the right are the ones for Caesar. Caesar is leading the match by 6 frames to 5. and Innocent is on 5, Caesar 6. And then on our stream, the main stream that we are watching, we are having Dog City 1, Mutesi Rasheeda 3. Remember, Mutesi Rasheeda has been given a +2 in the men's tournament, being a tournament of only top national team players, and Mutesi Rasheeda being a female, she has been given a +2. Yes, Caesar Chandiga was almost being equalized by Innocent. However, Innocent being an amateur player, he failed to clear the frame. Now Caesar is on the verge of winning the frame and eliminating Innocent, aka the jackpot, once and for all. Dog City potted black by Bank in the previous frame and also potted black. Yes, the scores between Caesar and Innocent. Caesar has won the match, Innocent having failed to equalize. Caesar Chandiga cleared the 5 yellows that he was left with and has won the frame. I think you can see the scoreboard being flipped. Caesar has won by 7 frames to 5. Caesar goes to the round of 16. We shall always ask you for an excuse, just in case the frame is not very clear. Yes, with Glorious almost blocking the scoreboard. It is a race to 7. So far, Mutesi hasn't potted any black, but remember, she was given a +2, and also when Dog City potted his black in the previous frame, that was frame number 4, he also potted the white ball. Now Mutesi is on the verge. If she can pot the red by Bank, not by Bank actually, but by a slight kind of draw shot, white ball bouncing off the cushion on the right, and also with some kind of a left spin motion after the Bank, she can pot the black to the same pocket. Or if she can also pot it by some running English on the cue ball, around 11 o'clock on the cue ball, white bounces off the top cushion and then bounces back, exactly the latter she has done. Mutesi Rasheeda now leads by 4 frames to 1. Yes, the 4 frames have come because she has been given a +2 in the men's tournament. Mutesi Rasheeda, the 2025 National Open Pool Championship of Pool Association of Uganda win of the Subaru, is up against the first runners-up Dog City, who encountered against Caesar in the final of the Nile Special National Open Pool Championship. The two are champions, I can say. However, Dog City fell short, failed to win Caesar. Caesar has just eliminated the Innocent. Innocent, the former winner of the last week's Chikolomongo comp, has been eliminated by Caesar Chandiga. Now Mutesi Rasheeda with a break and a pot of one red ball. I want to beg your pardon, with a pot of a yellow. I think she can map out a very good pattern. Once the table is closed on yellows, as I presume, she will be on the verge. Tapping the yellow with a simple follow shot, she can be in position to put the other. Yes, Mutesi Rasheeda aims but fails to close the table. Now Dog City needing all of them 6 frames to take out Mutesi Rasheeda out of this tournament. There is some kind of disturbance on our scoreboard. Senyonjo Glorious is a little bit blocking the scores. However, the scores are 4-1. I want to remind you that Mutesi Rasheeda has been given a +2. On the other table on your right, Makutang is leading by 1 frame to 0 against Area Junior.
ngule amazima sinakitala kimu kigula ojja kimalo kikitayo wali ate wakuba ate kalika okusibako ojja kwetololeza wali ngeweddemu anti ogiro kifunya nzereta ntirete kyameka kijje munesituuka ombale lumu kiri bani kijje munesituuka ajja kuyinga njagala musanvu eyasembyeyo yambonzeeko nga nteeba bulaaka abantu balinde bamalize lesi yawe naye gwe waali kikozeeko esikegwe ezogamba ate olinye emmeezi elevu nevaako Laban.
My lovely viewers, there is nothing I can pay you for having been my visitors today, for checking on me at the satellite media. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are at Labans Arena here in Namulanda. It is a race between Dog City and Mutesi Rasheeda. Mutesi Rasheeda, the 2025 national champion, is up against the first runners-up, Dog City. The first runners-up in the men's category and the champion in the ladies category are racing to 7 in the first round of Labans Arena New Year comp. It's a 32-man comp. Among the players who are already into the round of 16, we have Moto, Ronnie Hunter, Ibra Kayanja, Glorious, Detective, Caesar Chandiga, with Mutesi Rasheeda potting her third black and now on 5-1. Why are the scores 5-1? Mutesi Rasheeda was given a +2. The +2 because she's a female and she's in a tournament involving most of the national team players. So actually in all comps, ladies who participate in the men's comps are always given a +1. However, this one, I think the organizing committee decided to give Mutesi Rasheeda a +2. There was a lot of debate in some of the WhatsApp groups of poll onto why Mutesi Rasheeda, being so clinical as she is given a +2. And with most of the fans saying Mutesi Rasheeda pots like a male. However, I think the other players were okay with it. Now Dog City needs magic. Austin from South Africa says, good day people, thank you so much for sending shout outs to us. We also ask you to send greetings to Eden Joseph, Jerry Gandaganda and other players, Phila Mazambane from South Africa. Yes, Makar says Dogster definitely will win, but will be tough. Again changes his mind and says no, Dog City won't win. Yes, there is nothing that isn't possible on table. When we look at this frame, he now has only 3 yellows. He has spotted one of them, and now there is a little bit of hard work here left for him. Actually, he needs to manipulate the cue ball, but by the position of the resting of the cue ball, I think there is nothing big that can be done because there is no direct passage of the yellow ball to the corresponding corner pocket on the left. Therefore, I think he has to play the only yellow that is close to the cue ball, either by potting it or not. But Dog City, being Dog City, the minister of highlights, now aims for the other one, either potting it to the top. Yes, he pots it. I am sorry, from my camera angle, I could not see that. I think he's on the verge of bouncing the cue ball and then potting the black into the center pocket or center middle on the right. Dog City 2, Mutesi Rasheeda 5. The scores would have been 3-2, but Mutesi Rasheeda has an advantage of a +2, being a lady competing in the men's tournament. Karunji Steven says, how much will the winner take? Yes, the winner is going to take 800 Ugandan shillings. Yes, 800,000 Uganda shillings. If we are to compute that into dollars, it is around $235. Eddie Kicho says, is Mansour in the tournament? Yes, Mansour has already won his first round. He won Manager Clinton 7-4 and he is in the round of 16. Mansour is very present, and if you can look at the top of your screen, he is the one donning a pink t-shirt. He's a little bit blocked by Mutesi Rasheeda. They are seated together with Senyonjo Glorious and MC Tamino. Yes, someone called MC Maka says in Kenya shillings it is around 25,000. Yes, you're saying it in Kenya shillings is around 25,000 shillings. Yes, it is slightly higher than that, depending on the exchange rate. Remember, for me giving you $235, I used the highest rate of the dollar. Dear viewers, my lovely friends, I would like to ask you to energize me by only tapping that thumbs up button. Kindly like the stream so that some of our friends across Africa can be recommended by YouTube into this stream. Mutesi Rasheeda aiming surely like the expert, the 2025 champion, has failed to clear the frame. Now the dog in the city is invited back on table, taking the small pickings, bearing in mind he should be aware that Mutesi Rasheeda needs only 2, and for him he needs all of them 5 to make sure that he takes down Mutesi Rasheeda. It's a race to 7, Mutesi 5 and Dog City 2. Live commentary proceeds shortly. Karunji Steven is asking how they like the stream. Below your viewing screen, you can see that there is a thumbs up. When you see the thumbs up and thumbs down, the thumbs up is the like. However, if you can't like, then you can also share, comment. Ivan Fernandez is asking whether Sejemba is in the tournament. Yes, Sejemba Ibra is in the tournament. Ibra Sejemba will be playing against Herbert Mokisa. However, that match hasn't yet started. Some senior players in the house. We have Ian Kazibwe. We have, of course, Caesar Chandiga, who has just eliminated the Innocent Jackpot in a closely encounter. The encounter was so close that at one time Innocent led by 5 frames to 4. Caesar from behind equalizing, taking the lead and again equalizing. Other senior players in the house, we have Dog City, we have Ibrahim Kayanja, Area Junior, the computer aka Simon Luburwa, Laban Ariho, Misamba is in the house, dancing master is also in the house. Of course, he may not be a senior player, but he's a senior citizen. There is another encounter between Mark Wutang, that is on the top right of your screen. That scoreboard is for the match between Area Junior and Mark Wutang. Mark is leading by 2 frames to 1 against Area Junior. Dog City in attack. Very good manipulation of the cue ball from the dog in the city. The dog now is not in the city, but the dog is in Namranda, pulling himself a third one. Score update 5-3. 5 Mutesi Rasheeda, 3 Dog City. The scores would now be 3-3, but Mutesi Rasheeda, as I said, is in the men's tournament and has been given a +2 advantage. I think in soccer that's what they call a handicap. Dog City with a powerful break. The only challenge is where to put the black. If he decides to take on the yellows, I mean the reds, and if he decides to take on the yellows, black won't be. But I think he's aiming to close the table. Yes, closes the table on the reds, with only 3 of them left after 1 shot from the break. What you just saw him do was mapping out a very good path for the black. Now uses some English. Cue ball hasn't been manipulated so well, and I think now he has a task of only putting the one on the top right. If he does that, I think, oh dear, he snookers himself. Very unlucky he is, with a lot of unforced errors, Dog City. Unfortunately, he was almost potting black prematurely. He survives.
Yeah, this
Ekintuuseeko ntuuse wano nga sina wadde 10 bano bagaye munsasula
kale ngenda zigatta kuze ngenda okuwa Labani muleka gye mugambe Labani ngenda gatta ku entry fee kuze ngenda okuwa ngenda gatta yono ayinza n'okukuleka n'olaba bwereere Mugabi teyeeseera emmeeza yiye buli kimu
Yes, Little Eno says, honestly, I love Dog City. Who doesn't love Dog City with his simplicity, his calmness, his poetry that he normally showcases on table? Caesar is playing, but you didn't stream the game. Yes, that stream already got us when we were streaming another match. Sorry, but we shall be streaming the coming matches for Caesar. I am very humbled, dear fans. I think we had never met on stream. I want to say Happy New Year and may the good Lord open for you blessings in this new year of 2026. May the Lord bless the work of your hands. Being a weekend, let us enjoy this together. There will be non-stop action until the wee hours of the night. We are still in round 1. Dancing Master against Laban on table 3. Center table is where we are. We are having Mutesi Rasheeda, who fouls on the break against Dog City. The scores are 5-4, as you can see from the scoreboard on the top left of your screen. There is also another encounter on table 1 on the right, where the scores are currently 1-2, but Mark Wutang has pulled for himself a third one. The scores: Mark Wutang 3, Area Junior 1. Dog City and Mutesi Rasheeda is currently 5-4. Someone could be asking, for those of you who have just joined the stream, how come Mutesi Rasheeda is on 5 and Dog City is on 4? Yes, I want to tell you that currently Mutesi Rasheeda is the only female who has, of course, participated in this men's comp, and therefore she has been handicapped, given a +2. So far she has spotted 3 blacks, and Dog City has spotted 4 blacks, meaning with the 3 blacks she has spotted plus her +2 gives her the 5 frames she's leading with against Dog City. Kindly subscribe to the satellite media channel. This is the Billiards family, so far aiming to always bring you closer to the source. Mohamza says +2 thing is wrong. If the lady feels she's good enough to take on men, she should begin from 0. I think this is internationally done. Even when you look at some of the international comps, the female players who normally take on the gentlemen, or who normally join the men's tournament, are always given a +1. I think let us allow the lady enjoy the benefits. And Bogere Moses, those arguing about +2 should know that ladies are always favored when competing with men. E.g. check Heibo. You are very right, Bogere. Thank you for that submission. Little Eno says don't zoom it, leave it. I think it is now clear there. Dog City only waiting for one mistake from Rasheeda, which I doubt whether will come. With black potted on the pocket, only waiting for a tap. Now she has played herself out of control. I think she will now have to manipulate the cue ball very well. She's now going for the yellow that is on the cushion. A miss. Of course, she wanted even the cue ball to be moved almost to the top of the cushion. Scores now 5-5. It is 5-5. Mutesi Rasheeda 5, Dog City 5. Muhomza Abia says make sure Dog City. I think now Dog City has regained his confidence. I think he can even clear this frame. He has been on the break, potting a ball on the break, closing on the yellows, and now he's in attack. Each of them now needing two. Not really very accurate. Those cushion balls are always a menace to most of the players, including the senior players. Yes, for those viewers who are watching this stream, on your left is where our scoreboard is. The players seated next to that scoreboard are Senyonjo Glorious and Bwanika Mansour. For those of you who are asking whether Bwanika Mansour is in the tournament, he's fully in the tournament and has already won his first round match. The player on the left of the scoreboard is the one who Detective won by 7 frames to 0. He's called Manager Wycliffe. Played against Manager Detective. Detective explored his prowess, taking the cue ball for a walk, manipulating it like a senior O'Sullivan. And now, with the class and clinicality Dog City is exhibiting, I think with either draw or a stop shot, he will put all the yellow and the black in the same pocket, top right. Dog City 6, Mutesi Rasheeda 5 with her handicap. Mutesi Rasheeda now in control of the game, breaking and potting a ball on the break, and now closes on the reds. In attack is Mutesi, aiming now to equalize. However, she has played herself out of control. There is an encounter between Dancing Master and Laban Ariho. Another player on arrival is Dembaba. Mukisa Herbert in the house, Hazard Lukoma in the house, Computer in the house, Ian Kazibwe, to mention but a few. Caesar Chandiga, of course, Bwani Kamanusu. In case you have any question about any player, kindly in the comment section let us know the player you are asking. Of course, this is a tournament for the senior and the top players in the country. It's the first one of its kind, and it is held here at Labans Arena in Namlanda. For those of you who don't know Laban, most of the fans in the WhatsApp groups call him Lugogo material. Laban is one who is known for his controversy with Bob Katerega. In their recent battles, of course, Bob Katerega winning, but of course, Laban doesn't believe that Bob is senior to him. He's currently taking on Dancing Master. Yes, the Ograsha Sendaura says, how much is the winner taking? The winner is taking close to $250. You know, Ugandan comps normally do not have big prizes because they are normally organized by individual players, sometimes individual fans, and sometimes they even do not go for sponsorship like other big comps. However, let's keep our fingers crossed. The Advanced Talent Agency is cooking something next year. It might be termed the International Pool Festival. Around March or by end of February, we shall already be having the details. Sura Matovu isn't around. Yes, Abraham Mahawe is asking whether it's a one-day comp. Yes, this is a one-day comp. Chambade Robin says Azali is my favorite. Azali Lukoma, aka Hazard Drink Water, is in the house. Yes, Mutesi Rasheeda was slightly blocking the scoreboard. I want to assure you that it is now a decider. The match is into the wire. Dog City with a dry break. Now Mutesi Rasheeda is on the verge of taking Dog City out of the beginning of 2025 year comp. organized at Labans here in Namranda. At the round of 32, named round 1 here, we are having Dog City and Mutesi Rasheeda. Some of the matches on other tables, we have Chimuli Area versus Mark Wutang, the former international number 3. For those of you who remember, Mark Wutang was number 3 in a tournament that was organized in Kenya. I think it was Timber EXO. Another one is between Laban Ariho and the Dancing Master. However, the focus is on these two national team players, with Dog City being the national captain. Mutesi Rasheeda being the former 2025 national champion ladies category. Who is going to take the bragging rights? Who is going to walk away with the glory in this match? It is a decider. Very close, very tight, very immense. Mutesi Rasheeda having an advantage of +2. Dog City trying to open the top right corner pocket, but all was in vain. And now looking for another big shot. Porting to the top left corner pocket, with the cue ball moving to the top right. Of course, cue ball will be played with some kind of running motion. Unfortunately, he doesn't pot. He had even actually opened his yellow. However, the decider is looking like it is going to Mutesi's side. Scores between Mark Wutang and Area Junior. Mark Wutang is on 5, Area Junior 3, rest to 7. Now Dog City with some kind of defense plays his yellow behind the red, of course, to block the direct passage of the cue ball or to prevent a legal shot to potting that yellow. It is a touch now. The one who will be more precise, the one who will be more clinical, the one who will be lucky will take on this match. I beg your pardon, Little Enos. It isn't next year. It is this year that ATA is organizing a pool festival. Yes, you know, the organization started last year and we all had in mind that next year or the coming year. I want to tell you that it is this year, either February or March. We shall have the details. I am sorry for having taken my mind back into 2025. Chambade Reuben is asking, my name is Richard Travis. If you can call me by Richard of the Satellite Media, is asking, who are my top 3 players in the country? I think he wants the top 3 players in the country of Uganda. I will use a little bit of 2-3 factors. 1, the clinicality. 2, the seniority, and 3, of course, I don't know whether I've mentioned the experience, but my number 1 player in this country is Caesar Chandiga. Number 2, of course, will be Ibrahim Sejemba, with his simplicity, his calmness, being the player who takes the decisive frames of the national team. So I have Ibra Sejemba in my second. And now in the third position, There is an experienced player called Bwanika Mansour. Bwanika Mansour is a very clinical player. He can attack, he can snooker, and he can also take time if he plays, of course, what we call timed matches. So far that is my individual opinion. My top three: Caesar Chandiga, Ibrahim Sejemba, and Bwanika Mansour. And then from there, of course, we shall now begin thinking of the players like Ian Kazwe, players like Lukoma Hazard. I don't know whether I'm forgetting another player there, but of course, then the computer comes in, and so on and so forth. Thank you for correction. Chambado Ruben says Mark was number 4, not number 3. Thank you for that correction. And that is if your answer is right. Thank you very much, dear viewers. It is a decider that has become a touch, with each player having a safety ball blocking, of course, the pockets. Mutesi Rasheeda now being the landlady of the table, with 2 of her balls blocking 3 pockets. And now Dog City needs magic here. If he can only offload this bottom left pocket, if he can only offload this pocket by removing the yellow, and then he will be on the verge of controlling the frame even more. Mutesi Rasheeda playing with no intention to pot, but of course the organizer, I think, anytime is going to come to warn them, because the match has become a touch. But let us watch Dog City now going for a big shot. Yes, very magical. Dog City has played a shot into the red that was blocking the top right corner pocket. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, you can rewind the stream and have a look at that shot. The shot of the tournament was played by the detective, but I think this one is another contender. Another one, unfortunately. He has potted both the red and the black. Dog City, had the cue ball remained on table. The Minister of Highlights, as Simon Peter Chove calls him. Another tight encounter on the top right of your screen. You can watch. Mark Wutang is taking on Area Junior, and that match is Mark 5, Area Junior 4. Yes, Motongi Hilary is reminding me of Kasozi. Yes, I think Kasozi will take number 4 of my top players in the country. I can put him in that position because of his successes in the Pool Association of Uganda. The Pool Association of Uganda ranks him number 1. But I told you that for me, I would be using a little bit of my personal opinions and other factors. And Chambade says, my top 3 isn't bad. They are indeed the best overall. Though me, I fancy Hazo as my favorite. Yes, of course, we fans, in our blood, we have reasons why we support certain players. We have different tastes. Ria Junior on the verge of equalizing against Mark Wotang. Now this match, Mutesi Rasheeda on the verge of taking Dog City out of the tournament in this decisive frame. She aims and pots the black, though it had almost aborted. Mutesi Rasheeda with a +2 wins the round 1 match against Dog City by 7 frames to 6. Thank you for being good viewers. On this very table, there comes another match. I think some players that have not played. We have Mark Wotang, there is Hazard Lukoma, of course, coming on. Yes, we are going to have a match between Computer and Arafat, one of the Entebe's best players. The Computer will be taking my 5th position for the top players in the country. Dear viewers, allow me prepare a stream for, actually an independent stream for Computer versus Arafat. Stay tuned. I will be back shortly. Someone is asking, are you gonna stream Hazo match? Yes, I want to assure you that in case it is called on table, I will be streaming the match.
Computer. Chalayo kafananyiko.
Obumpi bulwadde. Obumpi bunyuma kwekweka.